So with that, I would like to introduce the absolute legend of Special Olympics, the Chief Inspiration Officer of the Board of Directors, my dear, dear friend, hero, and inspiration, Loretta Claiborne.
This is my baby. Good morning. How are you all doing today? Guten Morgen. Wie geht's? And you should say, es geht. Guten Morgen means good morning in German. Es geht means I'm okay. They told me I would never learn the language. In high school, I tried to join an art class, and I could see my mom saying, you start something, you finish it. And I would look, and I said to my friend, I said, Loretta, did you go to art class? I said, yes. But I got called a name. And I don't like to use this name. But since I'm talking about the past, because how do you know where you're going? Well, you don't know where you're coming from. I said, Barry, they called me a retard and told me to get out the class. I said, do me a favor. He looked at me and he said, what? I said, first of all, pinky swears, you would never say nothing to Rita, my mother. She's a big woman. And when she walked down the street, that hand would be on that backside and she would swing. And you know what? She had a community. They say it takes a village to raise a child. In our community, everybody knew the Claibornes. Everybody knew Rita. And we were poor. 5 girls in one bed. And I always got the end. And I always got my covers pulled off of me. And I would turn around and squitch and pull them back. But you know what? Also, I was told that I wouldn't live this long. I outlived my brother, 2 brothers, a sister, and my mother. I don't take no medications. As a kid, I took a lot of medication. I had a lot of behavior problems. Actually, it affected my teeth really bad. As I grew up, I had some mental health issues, but I got over them. It was because of a mother. We didn't have IEPs in school. We couldn't go to college. There was no such thing. It was like comparing, I don't know, a slave to the day. There was nothing. Like the woman said up here yesterday, who was trafficked. I almost cried in my seat. I was never trafficked, but I had something happen to me by a neighbor. And of course, back then, we didn't say anything. We were supposed to be looked at and not heard. Not my regular sisters. They were very smart. They had voices. They could speak very well. But people like me never was supposed to talk. But I got over it by the grace of God. And I know many of you believe in different ways. God, Jehovah, Allah. But that's okay. As time went by, I went into high school and I went to a school to work program. Go to school a week, go to the workshop a week. That's how they prepared us in school, to go to a shelter workshop and do meaningful work. But I was proud of that work because I had a job. But I didn't know I was only making $6 for 2 weeks when I could go outside and collect cans and make that in 2 days and babysit for people. But I was proud. First week I went to work, the first day I went to work, I took a hammer to a guy. Oh yeah, You didn't look at me. Oh no, and especially a guy. I'd take you out of this world. Just looking at me. I didn't care about a girl. She was easy. But as time went by, first week at the workshop, I get a call in, Loretta Claiborne, please come to my room. This is Lee, Mr. Gilreath. Loretta, please come to my office. I'm thinking to myself, I'm getting my time clock card and I'm punching out here and I'm out of here. I'm going home. But I had to go to his office. And he sat me down. He says, I have something for you. And I'm thinking in my head, because I never talked. And no, I never used sign language. I learned that so I could talk to my friends at the workshop. I go to his room. He says, I have something for you better than all those pills you're taking. He handed me a paper. I couldn't read it. The only word I could read was, Olympics. Wilma Rudolph, my favorite runner. But then I said to him, push the paper back. I can't take this. He puts it in my hand and says, yes, you can. And I thought what my mom said, you don't take nothing free at that workshop. You understand? You leave my house? I said, Rita, you say that every day. Why you keep on telling me that? And then I would walk out the door one day. I know you don't take nothing free because you don't get nothing free because they're going to ask something later. Well, I took the paper. Earlier that day, I took a free choke sandwich, peanut butter and jelly. Government food, it said on the can that we had. Big old gold can, the color of the flame there. U.S. government food. We used to always say it come from where they was going to have the war and we had to go under the ground. But this was good peanut butter. And it was tasty, and it had jelly. It wasn't like the project. I took the sandwich not thinking. I go to his office, I take the paper, and he looks at it. I look at it. I rolled it up in my pocket, put it in my pocket like this, get home, do it on the thing. Mr. Gilreath gave me that. She opens it up. What's this? My counselor gave it to me. If I didn't give it to you, I know I was going to get a beating on you, going to tell me I told you a lie. What's this stuff? Special Olympics. Betty looked at it and she said, Miss Claiborne, absolutely free for kids like Loretta. She's taking all those pills. Debbie's doing this. Alan's doing this. Marlena's in drum corps. Why don't you let Loretta have this? Let Loretta have something of her own. Special Olympics. I didn't know my life was going to change. Because, ladies and gentlemen, here was my destiny for my future. Not going to college, like my friends here today. Not being a podcast speaker. Not doing anything with my freaking life, but going down 6 foot under and getting killed with some of the battle scars I still wear today. From getting sliced, from getting cut in the arm, because of how I learned. Not having that opportunity, so I said my destiny was 2 things. If I lived through life, I would be in somebody's prison. If I didn't make it through life 9 out of 10 times, I would be 6 foot under. Because of something, one thing that I went to the first practice, and yeah, my mom scolded me out. First day they had Special Olympics, I had to get up and walk across town. And walking across the town was like walking across the battleground for a person like me. Going to school was walking across the battleground. The Vietnam War. I get across town, and she looked at me that day, she knocked, boom, boom, boom. Get up! Get up out of my house. You take something else free. You get your, you know what, out of my house, and you go to that shelter workshop. You'll think twice before you do something else. Now you go to that, whatever it's called, Olympics. Went the first time, came back the first day. I said, I quit. She said, what did you say? Eunice Kennedy Shriver said the same thing to me. I could hear Eunice saying to me in my ear because we were really close friends. Loretta, don't tell me what you can't do. You show me what you can do. Loretta Claiborne. Don't tell me what you can do. I'm going to tell you what you want to do. And you're going to get your behind up and you're going to go to that program. 53 years later. 53 years. Has anybody been in Special Olympics in this crowd in 53 years? 9. Net, which is in Russian. And no. I don't see no hands up. I don't see nobody standing up. But yeah, she was right. You quit something now, you'll never make it. Guess what? It was the best 53 years later. I do not have a pill bottle that I take a medication other than for my allergies. No, I can't eat pork, I can't eat beef, I can't eat shellfish. But other than that, that was the best pill I ever had. As time ticked by, I started to mellow down. My fists started to come down, like the coach said to me, Loretta, you pick up those feet and use them more, like I see you running back and forth to the shuttle workshop and put those fists down. Oh, by the way, I'm a 4th degree black belt in Ishinryu karate. But that coach said to me, you can go places. I started to mellow out. I had the right pill. Time goes by, and I look around at my peers, and I remember a coach said to me, Loretta, you gotta like yourself. And I hated myself. I didn't even want to look at myself in the mirror. A teacher once told me, Loretta, it takes less muscles to smile. I didn't care about myself. But Special Olympics turned me around. There's an old song that I ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around. Special Olympics turned me around. And here I am today. I got 3 honorary doctorate degrees. Not bad for a person who was told that they were a retard. Sorry about using the language, but how do you know where you're going? When you don't know where you come from. You learn from your history, and you don't want to repeat your history. I tell little kids that. I told some Girl Scouts that this past weekend. Always know your history so that it doesn't be repeated if it's bad history. 1981, something changes in Special Olympics. A thing called the Law Enforcement Torch Run. And Mr. LeMunyon, Chief LeMunyon, I hope he is here. He told me, thank you, Chief. He told me about when he first came to Mr. Shriver about the Law Enforcement Torch Run, and she looked and she goes, no. She was very protective of what she had started. She was very protective that her people would be treated right and be treated with respect and not be showed as a token. We talk about inclusion. Inclusion is just not invite me here to stand here and look pretty. Or to stand here and say, oh, here's my child. Inclusion is when you involve people. And Mrs. Shriver, I know she's sitting in heaven by Rita and saying, look what's happening. You know, I used to hate cops. My cousin was a cop. But you know what? My mother always told me, like Mrs. Shriver, how do you know where you're going when you don't know where you come from? Those little sayings, always have respect. Torch Run, it came into the program. Mrs. Shriver invited it, and look at you today. $1.some-odd million. But more than that, look at you today. You have people who you are providing for, serving right with you, taking roles. You heard the one lady today. You heard the young lady yesterday who was on your council. That, to me, is inclusion. Don't just invite me to the dance, because if you think I'm going to stand there and do the tables, do everything, do the cleanup, I'm going to dance. So if you're going to include me, make sure I get the whole part of the pie as well as you do. That is inclusion. Law Enforcement Torch Run, became a part of us. You don't know what you do for us. It wasn't just me going to Germany and winning a gold medal in tennis. It was changing my life, making me be positive. A coach talking to me. That would never happen for our athletes today. Not only here in the US of A, but around the world. Our athletes' lives are being changed. Our communities' lives are being changed. So when I look at this beacon of light, as I would stand there and look, I would think, love, peace, hope, pride, and inclusion, and blessings. That's what I would think. Your lives. You might go out there and fight a crime. You might go out there and you have to put a gun on you. You might won't come home. We talk about our soldiers at war. They know they signed up for a battlefield. But for you, you might won't come home tonight. So my blessings are with you. I pray for you each and every night. My great-grandmom was murdered. They never found out who murdered her. I could hate cops, but no, because I know you are here to guard, to protect, and to serve. You are the guardians of our flame. And you are the guardians of our communities. Thank you for what you do for our world. And when I look around, when I see a policeman today, hi, sir, because I know just a couple months ago I was attacked. And I tell you what, I didn't go and call Ghostbusters. I called the police. And anyone tells you, no matter where you're at, let something happen in the community. Believe me, you're going to be right there because you believe in serving and protecting. So thank you for what you do for all of our people around the globe and here in the United States. I'm going to say this, thank you. May God's blessings or Allah or whatever higher being you may believe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Bye.